This is Pivot Perspectives with Chris O'Byrne, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet. Hear their stories and get the most important business lessons they've learned on their road to success, and get exclusive access on how to implement their success into your life and business. Pivot Perspectives is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Chris O'Byrne.
Hey, are you looking to scale your business from 5 figures to 6 figures or 6 figures to 7 figures? If you are, I have the perfect thing for you. What I want you to do today is I want you to go download a book. This book is going to take you through my 3-pillar system. It's 100% free. All you have to do is go to growfast.cash. I say again, go to growfast.cash, and you're going to be able to download my free international best-selling book, which is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. You can take that book. It's going to help you scale your business to the next level. Again, go download it. Be good, be brief, be gone. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. Enjoy.
Thomas Kozlowski, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
So you have had some incredible accomplishments that I want to dig into, and then I want to spend a lot of time talking about your pretty awesome nonprofit, Jump for the Planet, and what you are accomplishing with that. But first, I'd like to get some background and talk a little bit about like what led you up to that point of doing all the skydives, getting excited with skydiving in the first place. So going back to your childhood even, what was that path like?
It was actually that's what brought me to this moment where I am now. It was 3 events. One was when I was 6 years old, 2, first and the second, and third one when I was 9. It was, in the summer, I saw the paratrooper landed next to me because there was a special forces unit in the town where I was born, and they had a problem with the helicopter, and the guy landed next to me. So, I was a boy, so I just wanted to be a skydiver once. It was just a dream, like a normal dream, like most of the kids have. And the second one was I was in the same year, first time in the mountain. It was in the winter. My father and my uncle took me to the mountain, and I saw the mountain rescuer. So I spoke with him. I remember that the guy was like 10 feet big. This is my impression, which remains in my head. And it was my second dream to be a mountain rescuer. But I remember, I was born in the communistic time when the communistic regime was in Poland, and we all were very, very poor. And the city, we had a problem with Poles, and we had a problem with alcohol. There was a lot of drunk people in that time. I was in the town when I was born. There was a lot of heavy drugs. Like there was one of the strongest places with the heroin in the world, and a lot of my friends died. But I remember that I was 9 when I was walking with my mom, and I saw the guy laying on the street. And my dream in that time was I thought when I be rich once I will build the shelter for all of these people, not for all who needs the help. I thought about these losers who are, in the end of the line, who no one wants to help them. So it was my dream. So this 3 very profound moments in my life, like I wanted to be a skydiver, I wanted to be a mountain rescuer, and save people who have completely no chance. So I didn't know. I never even thought about to make this happen. It was just a dream. Like for example, you have some sickness and you dream about to be healthy. Well, it was just a normal dream, like most of it. But yes, I am in the moment now where I can do that. When I had my first skydive, I was 37 years old, so very very late. Yeah, and I had one because I was a mountain rescuer for 17 years. And when I was a mountain rescue instructor, I had the training with the special forces soldiers, with our Navy SEALs, and they took me, for the first skydive, and I have this AFF training, the skydiving course, and I became to be a skydiver. But my dream was to jump 6 times, and then I remember after the sixth jump, I said 12. 12 will make me to be a skydiver. And it was the goal of my life to jump 12 times.
So it's understandable, and you see it a lot, that people escape or attempt to escape poverty, and or at least focusing on their lives through alcohol and other drugs. How did you escape that yourself? Why did you fall into that same pattern?
Uh, the first thing which is going to my head now, I've never answered such a question. I think that the other people was more important for me than myself. This is where I think now, because I was focusing on others to help them. Then is I realized this when I'm thinking right now. When I became to be a mountain rescuer, I remember that the friend of mine who was the training officer in my team, he said, we have to be stronger than the average tourists. We have to be better equipped. We have to carry more stuff than them. And we have to be ready to spend a couple of days in the mountain in the winter where it's minus 30 degrees, and 6 feet of snow. So, yeah, I had a lot of weak times in my life, and but yeah, somehow I survived. Most of my friends didn't, but yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a degree of mental toughness, I think, that you developed, and it sounds like um, some of that was developed as a mountain rescuer, but I think there was some underlying toughness there that paired along with your focus on other people that really helped you. So, how long were you a mountain rescuer?
17 years. It was about a little bit more than 400 rescue operations. But it's when I think about this time, I was afraid many times, and my toughness, if we can say about this, I always got two faces, like two sides of one coin. That it's if you're not afraid, you cannot be tough. Like if you're not afraid of change, you don't expect that you will have the adventure in your life, and it's the same with the fear. And you know. I was afraid of everything, but I realized, this my projects like Project 48 and 100 and another skydiving projects make me to realize that the copying with stress and copying with weakness and the anxiety or fear is the first step is to accept. Okay, I'm afraid. It's not a problem. Or it's raining. It's not a problem. Take the coat. You're afraid, so you just have to accept it. If you want to deal with anything, you have to accept that the problem exists. And then the problem becomes to be a task. So it's still the same problem, or it's still the same, you're still in the same water, but you start to swim. If you accept, okay, this is the environment where I am now, so I just have to deal with this. And this is, it took, I think, maybe about 10 years to understand. When I'm jumping with people today, I'm talking to them. If you're afraid, just be afraid and accept the one. And if you're afraid, okay. Most of the instructors used to say, hey, don't be afraid, everything will be fine. Of course that will be fine, but it's not, okay. Okay, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid now. It's impossible. Yeah? But if you will tell them what I'm doing, like last 1,000 jumps, when I'm jumping the tandems with people, I used to say, be afraid, even focus on the fear, and you can see yourself in the situation when you're doing something, being scared about your life. But you can do that. It's just a matter of decision. People are looking for the motivation. They used to say, hey, help me to find the motivation to change or to go to, out of the toxic relationship or everything is. So I think that they trying to have something like motivation. It will be something from outside, which will do this for you. No, you have to make a step.
Right. Yeah, it does come. All of those things are so important, but yeah, we think it's going to be easy. Now, in 2014, 10 years ago almost,
Yes. Yeah.
you did the highest skydive in Europe at
Yeah.
just under 7,000 feet, or
Yeah. It was
7 miles, just under 7 miles.
37, something like 37,000 feet. It was 11 kilometers. We were a little bit over 11 kilometers, and it was the goal just to be there. But it
Yeah.
wasn't my goal. My goal was a little bit different because, it was two friends of mine were preparing this project, and they asked me, I was in that time 10 years ago. I was very very often in the news just to comment some traumatic event as a psychologist because it was the field I was worked for 20 years. And they asked me to organize the media for the project, and I just joked, okay. I said, if you will take me to the jump, I will organize this. And they said yes. And it was the problem for me because I didn't expect that. And this 2 years of the preparation to this jump, it was just a horrible time for me because that's where I create in my head. It's even Steven Spielberg cannot create something like this. It's I was afraid absolutely of everything, and it was really really good lesson because just uh, when we start, it was the jump. We jumped from the hot air balloon. It was huge. It was like I think 120 feet tall. The
Oh,
balloon.
wow.
Yeah, so it's like 10th floor and even more. So it was in the winter when we came through the clouds. It was a very cloudy day. All the everything was covered by cloud, like even fog. It was 1,500 feet above the ground was the level of the clouds. But when we came out of the clouds, everything was just a beautiful carpet of the clouds, and there was the sun and the blue sky, nothing more. It was somehow primitive, and all these 2 years just disappeared in 1 second. And I realized that I I wasn't afraid of the jump. I wasn't afraid of this project and everything. I was afraid of the imagination of it, which I create in my mind. And this is a huge difference, like people coming to me and they are afraid. So I'm just asking this simple question: did you jump before? No. So what are you afraid of? You just think about this and you're creating this in your mind. And I think that the most of the fears which we have in our heads
Mhm.
is created by us. We're doing this for ourselves. Yeah, so it was
So,
exactly the same.
yeah, so how do you help people get over that fear? You can't just say, "Don't be afraid. I got this handled. It's under control." So, what is that process like of helping people learn to be less afraid?
It's the first step is to accept the situation that you're afraid. It's of course depend is the female or male. The guys have to be tough. Because this is our
Yeah.
culture. When you see um, all the signs we use, there's a lion, there's a bird, or there's a eagle, or only the predators. So we have to be tough. And this is why over 80% of the people who's committing the suicide are males, because they have to be tough, and it's unacceptable to be weak, or it's unacceptable to cry. And so the first thing what I'm trying to do is to see what we've got on the table. Okay, I'm afraid. It's a human nature, and if the skydiving is amazing for it, the tandem skydiving. When I'm responsible for the jump, I will do everything for the person who's jumping with me. If you're afraid, okay, you can be afraid, but it's up to you how long you will be afraid. Yeah, you will be afraid as long as you will not accept to be afraid. Then suddenly you realize,
Yeah.
oh, okay, it's just okay. I feel something in my stomach, or I feel dizzy, or something like this. Yeah? But it's now the first is accept, and then the second step is to
I can
do you
barely hear
hear
it.
that? Okay, because
Just barely.
I think kids are thinking down there. And it's
Ah,
great because there's a lot of Ukrainians people here, and the kids are assimilating here and playing with all of them. It's beautiful. This is somehow, what I want to do. But that's where it's important for me is that the people, when people accept that there is a problem like fear, then you're starting to build the optimism that you can make it, that you can manage this, because you know your fears. And always when you escaped from the problem, you don't know what is going on because you have to call the problem. Like, it's like one of the philosopher from early 60s or 70s, he said, if you're afraid to be dead, or if you're afraid to die, just imagine yourself in the coffin. So in my opinion, this is just the imagine the worst scenario. You know?
yeah. Yeah, that's good advice, and that's good advice for, I mean,
Oh, wait, close the
for
window. Yeah, yeah, let's talk.
for people, even people who are in business. There is a lot of fear as a business owner, and it's a very simple or similar process, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
tell yourself, all right, and I've done this, what's the very worst that can happen? How bad can it get? Am I
Mm-hmm.
is it going to kill me? In most cases, no. Am I going to end up on the street somewhere, living in a gutter? Well, probably not. And so you start going through that process. And like you said, just thinking about that and accepting fear, accepting that I'm afraid, in some cases, extremely afraid, really helps to work through that. Do you have any other techniques or things that people can do to just to keep working on that process?
Of course, there's a lot of techniques which can make you to stop being afraid, like breathing, for example. There is a 4 second taking breath, is 4 second keeping in yourself, and then is 7 seconds going out. There's a lot of techniques like this, but the solution is so simple that you cannot accept, because the simplicity is the key. Yeah, and for example, like when I've got the problem right now, I mean, like I'm afraid of something, and so I'm thinking, okay, where I'm afraid, and I'm trying to find that the reason I'm afraid. It's like, if you can manage the problem, don't worry. If you cannot manage the problem, don't worry, because you cannot manage. If you have no influence, if you have, so it's okay. So I was on one of the drop zones here in Poland a couple of days ago. They had the very small old plane, so it was shaking. I just wanted to make a couple of jumps to test one of the device to the sound. And suddenly I realized that I'm afraid. And I said, okay, why am I afraid? Okay, I'm afraid of this plane because the plane is shaking. So I watch up. Okay, there is a clouds. There's a dark clouds. Always under the dark clouds, the plane is shaking. So then if you want to feel better, watch the face of the pilot. If he's boring, it's okay. If he's fighting with this, it's not so. I think that the truth is one step. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to go on the ground, even in the plane, just to see. Okay, this is my problems. Yeah, I'm afraid that this plane will fall down. But I said, hey, no, this is you shouldn't be afraid of this, because this is just the creation of your mind, and it's just gone. It's where I see that if if you're trying to use the big canoe, against the small fear, you will lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the truth, the truth.
So 3 years after you did the highest jump, you went on to do 50 jumps in one day.
Yeah.
What led you to decide that that was a good idea?
Before it was, I think, 5 or 6 years earlier. I thought that if I will be 50, when I will turn 50, I will jump 50 times in one day. It was even before my friends told me about the big jump, about this project. So after the big jump, I came back to this idea. I said, okay, I will try to do that, but there was one thing in between. Uh, I wrote the book about my fears, and the book I call it "The Story of a Thousand Fears." And I wrote it because our astronaut, the first and only Paul in space, who was the patron of the project, he told me when I came back from space, I took the pen and the paper and I wrote what I had in my head. So you have to do the same, but today, not tomorrow. He told me just after the jump, and when I came back home, I just wrote 2 pages about this, and 1 month later, I saw that it wasn't a technical description of the jump. It was just where I felt when we came over the clouds. So it was just much more humanistic, uh, uh, item, which I remember, just a small thing that it was imagination, that everything, we've got all the strength in ourselves, in my opinion. We just have to lose the blocks. This is the growing. It's not to gain something more like the courage or power. You have to just release all everything which is blocking you. And then when I came back to this text 1 month later, I wrote another page and another and another. 6 months later, I had a quite big text. And I published this by myself because I had completely no idea how it will be, taken by the market. So I thought that maybe I will have 200 copies and I will give this to people like the gift. And it was I spent over 8,000 copies. It's with completely nothing. It's like on Facebook with no publishers. I published this by myself, and that what was important. I received over 1,500 letters from readers who were grateful that I showed them that the regular guy, being afraid of everything, can jump from the beginning of stratosphere and do something like this. And so then I came back to my idea of 50 jumps when I will turn 50. But I said I will not wait, 2 years because of 2 jumps. So I decided to organize Project 48, jump at 48 times when I will be 48. And each jump was dedicated to some sick person with brain tumor, broken spine, or, this terrible disease. And so by accident, I support people with my book. And then I decide, with my intention to support people by skydiving because it's just good. So in this day, having, I think, maybe about 2,000 people on Facebook, I received over $50,000 in one day for these people. And I remember when I called to General Hermaszewski, to our astronaut, I told him, I asked him for being a patron of the project, and he said, "Hey, don't do that. In next year, there will be 100 years of anniversary of independence of our country. But in the same time, it was 100 years anniversary of Polish Air Forces." And he said, "You will jump 100 times." And I said, "I can't do that because
Yes.
I announced it. I announced this on Facebook. People are paying the money." But and he said, "Okay, it was just a joke." But a couple of months after this jumping, I make him a phone call and said, "General, I will try to jump 100 times next year." And he said, "No, no, no, don't do that. This is really dangerous." The guy who came back from space
Yes.
in 1978. It was, oh, geez Christ. the door to the bathroom are better, better equipped right now than the device they came back. But I said, okay, so I will try to do that. And he said, no, 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 I was joking. This is danger. Don't do that. But I decided to do that. And I found in Poland 100 kids between 4 and 7 years old who had a real need to change the wheelchair. It was the specific wheelchair, those kids had the untypical shape of the body, so they had to measure the kid and prepare the. This is such a wheelchair was something like $2,500. So, which is a lot of money, especially that these people are from the poor families. So, I decided to jump 100 times to collect the money for 100 wheelchairs, and the goal was to have $250,000. But there was something really good in before I start to jump, because the sponsor quit. The guy said, "I'm sorry, I got some business stuff. I cannot help you." So it was in the middle of the project. We had the money for something like 20 wheelchairs in that time, and I spoke with my wife about this. It's exactly like the same. She said, "Okay, so if you're afraid of death, just imagine yourself in the coffin." So it was like, okay, let's think about the worst scenario. Is I think that the philosopher didn't talk about the being dead. Just think, okay, where's the worst? So the worst was that we will take the credit in the bank just to pay for it, because I even thought about the quit the project and said, okay, we've got 20 wheelchairs, 20 kids will be happy, but 80 not. But okay, we did everything. But in the end of the day, we made a decision and we took the credit. So it was something like $25,000, which we're still paying today for it. But the producers of the all the wheelchairs, they cut the prices. So for a little bit more of the half of the money we had to collect, we bought 117 wheelchairs in the end of the day.
Oh,
So
wow.
yes,
So,
so yeah, so I'm really happy about this, because when they announced this, that the news was talking about this. Okay, the guy jumped 100 times in 9 hours, and he took the credit to pay for the fuel, renting a plane, and everything. And when people start to paying the money, they blocked the servers. So yeah, but
uh,
we had the money for 80 wheelchairs, and in it was, I think, like 16 or 17 minutes later, we had the money for 117.
wow.
Yeah, so this is how it works. And I thought that when I was comparing these two projects, so I found the project 100 was simple. The guy will jump 100 times, let's pay the money for the wheelchairs. And this is jump for the planet. It's simple. The guy will jump, we need the roof overhead for the refugees. And the
Yeah.
simplicity is the key, in my opinion.
Looking to grow your business beyond 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures plus, what I want you to do is go download this book. The title is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. It will help you grow your business past 5, 6, and 7 figure. Go download the book today, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and download the book for absolutely free.
So I was doing some math, and the first time you jumped 50 times and made $50,000 in donations. The second time you jumped 100 times and you got 150,000. So
Yes.
I'm calculating, if you jump 150 times in one day, you should make $450,000 based on that math. So
Yeah.
you have a new goal.
Yeah, but that's what there is always the mind and the heart. So I was always focusing on the math, on the statistic. I spent all the winter, calculating how to do the jump. I changed everything, but I wasn't, prepared how people will react. That, for me, it was only the science. Now, when I'm trying to, I'm talking with a lot of people all around the world about the project, when I don't see the heart and the desire and the passion in the person, I don't want to have such people. The people must be a little bit crazy. And I think that today being crazy is to being normal. We
Yeah.
all, yeah. So, because this is the crazy times. And I think that the going to the roots, going to the nature and care about ourselves, like, to think about us, that we are one, and it's not in this philosophical, beautiful concept. I mean the one, like the planet. This is why my project is called Jump for the Planet, because we are part of the planet. Very small. We had a big influence, okay, but we are not the most important on the planet, and the planet will be fine. We damage the atmosphere, then everything what we did for ourselves, and so in 1-2 million years it will be like this. The planet will be okay. Planet got the small virus now called humans, and will be okay.
Yes.
And we have to realize that we are part of the planet and we depend on. And and this is one of the goals of my project. I didn't know that I will have something like this, but maybe there will be a chance to to say something to people and to make them to understand, because this is very simple. I've got the solar system here. I made a tattoo, and because I think that we live in the solar system, that this is our home, because we cannot survive without Jupiter on the moon or moon. It's and the Earth, the planet Earth, is the room where we're sitting, and we don't know what is going on with the walls in this room. So this is
Yeah.
the 6 years of fighting for this project changed my perspective, and make me to understand that the life is somehow the life is a person, like like you and I, we are the person. So life, which is on the planet, which is because we are in the distance from the sun, this is something, the life, and the life will go on without us.
So tell me more about Jump for the Planet. What is the focus and what are you currently working on?
Uh, there is nothing new in my project. I just saw when Felix Baumgartner jumped from 39 kilometers. It was amazing marketing event, and where whole world was talking about this. But in my opinion, the technology was a little bit danger. Of course, it was the second jump, so I'm pretty sure that they did everything to save his life and to perform this in the best way. But 2 years later, Alan Eustace was 2 kilometers higher. No one knew about the project, and this technology was very safe, in my opinion. So I just decided to connect these two projects, to use the safe technology and to jump. To create the event where well known all around the world, just to make to collect the money for the refugees. And why the refugees? Because I wanted to have the global goal where people are suffering all around. There is hundreds of goals like this. People are asking me why you don't fight, for the to take the plastic out of the ocean, or I don't know, to with deforestations of the planet. So I will tell you the story why the refugees. It was Project 48 was like this, that I announced. I came with my daughter. She was 1 year old, and I came with her to the small forest which is here. And I took the phone and I just announced this on Facebook. Okay, I will try to jump 48 times for 48 sick people, just to collect the money, and that's what I want to do. And there was people are calling me, texting me. Okay, I've got someone with the cancer, and or with something like this. And there was one people sent me an email that in their town, like 4 hours away from Warsaw, where I am here, there is a girl who's 4 years old, and she got inoperable brainstem tumor. and they want me to help her. I said, okay, there's a jump number 24 is free, so you can take it and let's work about this. Let's try to help her. And I call her Marta 24. And, you know, she even came when I was jumping for her, you know, with her parents, with a lot of people. They, you know, there was 2 people involved, 4, 6, 8, 10, 100, 1,000. It was amazing. You know, it was one of the best campaign in these 48 jumps. And we became to be friends with her parents and, you know, visiting each other and spending the time there. They've got the quite beautiful beauty house and with a lot of space. So we just drink the beer and wine sometimes. And, between project 48 and 100, when I was preparing, it was April 16, I texted her mother that we wanted to visit them in 2 weeks. And she texted me back, I'm really sorry, but you're not going to make it. She's leaving us right now. And I said, okay, so I will be tomorrow in the morning. And she texted me, you're not going to make it. She's just dying. And it's happening. So I said, okay, I will try. And early in the morning, I text her again, and she texts me something like this: we don't know what is going on. Here's the doctors and the people from Hospitium or this kind of organization. So she's still alive, but it can be just the seconds. And I said, okay, so we're just packing the stuff and we're going. So, and our daughter was 1.5 years in the time, and she hated to be in the car. So I woke up my wife and I said, hey, we have to wake up Annie and make her, you know, to be tired. Just play with her a couple of hours and then sit to the car and make her to sleep. And there will be a possible to go. So my wife told me, we don't have to hurry up. She will wait for you. I said, okay, but I'm the doer. Let's work for it. And 4 or 5 hours later, we hit the road, and, you know, something like 4.5 hours of the drive. When I was watching the messenger, because we were chatting on the messenger, it was gray light, like, you know, she was offline all the time. And we came to their house. It was 3:40 p.m. And we came into the house, and Paulina, my wife, and Annie were they stay in the living room, and I came to the bedroom when Marta was laying in the bed, and so I laid down next to her. I took this small hand and I kissed her cheek, and I said, Marta, I promise that I will sacrifice my life to support kids like you. And her mother, who was sitting next to us, she said, Marta, please, when you will be an angel, care about Uncle Thomas when he would be jumping out of the plane. And 1 hour later, she died. And you know, this, when I'm thinking about this, it wasn't, you know, emotional explosion, because as a trauma psychologist, I was many times in such situation. And, you know, it's this, maybe I'm still working for it because I see a lot of suffering. But it was something when I realized that this is a second half of my life, maybe a bit shorter, but this is what I can do. This is what I'm able to do. This is what is make me to, you know, to be on the run and to do things which is, you know, beyond my imagination. Everything what I was doing in my life was beyond my imagination. So that's when I'm thinking today, if you want to do something great in your life, it must be impossible. This is the first what you can. If this is impossible, it's worth for fight for it. And so I was starting to looking for the kids who are suffering when the you know who got the same problem. The same problem is the roof overhead. It's such a simple need. And it's 50,000 people every day losing the houses because of the consequences of climate change. So this is why I decided to support them, and of course the war refugees too. I want to support everyone, but it's impossible.
Yeah.
But you know, to build a simple system to deliver the shelters in 24 hours after the event, like landslides or hurricanes, floods, like Two years ago in Pakistan, there was 33 million people affected by one flood. 33 million people. It's 10% of the population of your country. It's absolutely unbelievable something like this has happened. And so this is my goal. It's very simple. And I didn't know that, I asked President Lech Wałęsa, the Nobel Peace Prize winner who overthrew the communism here in Europe, and he accepted to be the patron of the project. And I was fighting a couple of years here in Poland, but we had the anti-democratic the government was really close to have the regime again, and they didn't respect the pre-agreement about the climate change and everything. So this is why I decided to move to United States and start there again. And the people are different. The business is everywhere difficult, and it's this is hard. This is really hard, to find the money and to do everything when you have nothing. But it's in States it's just easier. Right now, I came back to Poland for a couple of months because I spoke with the former prime minister and with the former president, and that the democratic opposition won the election last year. So the situation is changing in Poland, and we came back to the democratic way, and it's better and better. So I hope that the Poland will be much more involved than before. But the goal is very simple. It's when Felix Baumgartner jumped, there was a lot of movies on YouTube. A lot of people were talking about this. So by during the COVID, when it was normal that you're sending the letters and emails and the PDF everywhere, so I found the way to send a letter to CEO of YouTube, and what the letter from Lech Wałęsa, who asked the president of YouTube, the CEO of YouTube, to meet me, and 1 week later, I had the meeting with the vice president of YouTube, and it was amazing when we start to talk about this, what we can do. But the more amazing thing is that I asked her to be the member of the board of Jump for the Planet Foundation in States, because I really wanted to have the main partner inside of the foundation, inside of the project, to see that everything is honest, that we just want to support people, and she accepted. And so this is how the structure is built. So with YouTube, we've got access to almost 2 billion people. So if we can, if you think about the numbers, going back to the math, we can collect billions of dollars. I know that the billions of dollars, like let's say $2 billion, it's still drop in the ocean if we want to, But there is not only about the money, which is really important, but try to imagine that we will create a couple of change makers like Lech Wałęsa, who made this solidarity movement here and the revolution, and there was a Berlin Wall collapse, and all the changings here in Europe was, make this huge region of our planet to be free. So we've got the different problems now, like climate change, like diversity, like that we just in every country, the fascists the demagogues got the power, and they just I think that we need people who will make us all to understand that it's really difficult to be free, that to be free is a hard work too. And I don't know how to do that, but I feel the potential like this, that it's not only that this rescue operation, because I'm the rescuer, so my goal is to take people from the bad, dangerous environment and put them to safe, and then another people will be caring for them. So it's very simple. So as now is just to do that on the safe way. So this is why I found the best people on the planet who can make me to, help me to jump, and to have the best partners, like big organization like International Green Cross, which is in every 28 countries. So they've got I hope that they will just, that's what we're talking about, that they will just do everything, in terms of the sending the houses, because his modular houses are everywhere. This is nothing new. I just want to
Yeah.
put the couple of walls. The simplicity is the key. Just a simple house, just to make them to stay there a few weeks and go and to be with with the people who lives in the country. I'm so happy. Like, I see the kids playing here, with my daughter, or to see them in the in the schools. I know that this is, for some people, are this is the problem, because we've got a lot of like in every country, people who wants to protect the country and the culture. No one wants to steal the culture, But there will be a day that all the refugees will come here, because the climate will push them. So I think that we should just care about them like for ourselves.
So, how high is your next jump going to be? What are you shooting for?
We've got the possibility to send me to 45 kilometers, which is 148,000 feet, something like this. So it will be. I didn't even want it, to jump the highest jump, but when I spoke with people from Paragon, with the CEO of the Paragon Space Development Corporation, Grant told me, you have to beat the record, because people will not, will be not, will won't watching the third
Yeah.
jump. So I'm not the guy who's trying to beat the record. I know I've got a couple of records, okay, but it wasn't my goal. It was always, fighting with my weaknesses, with my fears, and right now, after this 10 years of, in Project 48, I put everything on the physical strength. So I spent 9 months on the training, on the Project 100 was, I set up everything, I put all the effort on my head, not because I'm smart. It's because I broke my muscles on my leg. I couldn't train. It's like, okay, my head must be, but right now, is I didn't even talk about this, but I think now that my strength is is nothing. I don't need the strength to do that. I just need to do that. I'm afraid. Okay, I can be afraid. People are asking me, "Are you afraid?" I'm not afraid now. I will be afraid during the jump. Now I'm not afraid. I'm sitting and talking with you now. So there's wasting the energy to be afraid for something that will happen in 1 or 2 years. So, of course, I'm doing everything to be prepared, like I did, I don't know, maybe 800 tandems, because I will be jumping using the tandem parachutes. So this is why I'm jumping the tandems. I didn't know that this is absolutely the best the best job ever. When you're taking people to the breakthrough moment of their life, and you can see this happiness and this fear, and all this mix of the emotion, and which is not right in the end of the jump. They talking thank you to me, but I did my cargo job. It was their decision to trust the stranger and jump with them, so they are brave. And so, but I'm happy to be with people in this moment. It's amazing.
That's wonderful. So, what is the best way for people to support the Jump for the Planet Foundation?
It's there's, of course, we need the money to build the houses. So it's go to jumpfortheplanet.com or jumpfortheplanet.org, and the people can use PayPal and send the money. Of course, there's another way is to jump with me. I had a couple of jumps, like someone paid for $5,000 or $10,000 for the foundation, and I jumped with the person, because I'm not taking the money for jumps when I'm in in United States. I treat this as a training, and all the money goes to the foundation. And of course, if someone is in Europe, but the other thing is, the other way is that my goal, of course, when someone asks me what will be my first question or first word when I will land, and I immediately say how much money we have. But the money is not the goal of my life. I want, the goal of my life is the happiness of my children, and then I want to make all people happy. But it's I'm not focusing on the money. I'm focusing on building the global social movement to have people, around the project. And when I'm talking with people who've got the power, like I spent 1 week on Sir Richard Branson Island on Caribbean. It was amazing. So I met the people from space industry there, and I met a lot of amazing people in this last years. And the most difficult is to answer the question by asking me, "What do you want?" And I said, "I don't know. You are a powerful and intelligent person. So I don't want to waste the opportunity to tell you what I want." Of course, the money is important, but if someone wants to, join the project and be somehow got the idea, for example, let's like, in few days I'm doing the project what I call it cut your hair for the jumps, and I'm doing it like this, so that there is a couple of famous people here. Mostly they are women because they've got the long hair. There is a journalist, actress, and there is a one teacher. So I asked them to jump with me, and it will be like this. I will jump the tandem with them. I will land next to the barber, and the barber will cut their head, their hair, and the hair will go for the kids on chemotherapy because they need the real hair. And I want to show the psychological needs of this. And there, for example, there's a one teacher, just the girl who's who got the beautiful hair, and she said, "I will come there with all my school." So there will be few hundreds of kids, and those kids will see the guy is jumping for the kids. So they will talk about the cancer, they will talk about the support, they will talk about the crazy stuff in life. Maybe they will not go to the office work 35 years in the same job. Maybe they will think, okay, I want to be crazy like this guy, and I will create something. So my daughter, she's 7. She jumped twice, and she was talking about the jump 2 years. I'm not the father who wants to, put my kids to the same activity what I'm doing. But okay, she was tall enough to jump with me, and she's in the project as well. So she cut her hair, and there was once in the last year there was an interview with her. There was the TV on the drop zone, and they asked her, "What do you want to do? You want to be a skydiver like your father?" And she said, "No, I don't want to jump from space. I want to sail the world around and collect the
Oh,
money for sailing."
wow.
This is her idea. She can't even swim, but this is the idea she has. So we've got this on the table. Okay, first step, go to the swimming pool and learn to swim. So I don't know it will happen or not, but this is where I want to. I will be happy if one child per 1,000 will think, okay, I will be the crazy guy like this guy, and I will change the world. Or, if you want to change the world, it's enough to change one life, and you will change the world. Yes, this is
Yes.
yeah. And I think, like sometimes people talking to me, okay, you're doing amazing thing. Maybe, maybe the jump from space is not the regular job, but I don't think that that's what I'm doing is amazing. I think that this is what all of us should do to support others because we are one of them. So um, that's us. We'll not survive by ourselves.
Yeah, totally. So the other thing I wanted to say is that people can also support you just simply by buying your book. And I
Oh
want to
yeah,
encourage everybody who's listening to go out and buy the book. It's very easy to find on Amazon, and it has some beautiful color pictures in there, which make it even more exciting. But the story itself is phenomenal, and I think people will get they will learn a lot just from reading it and seeing what's possible and how they want to change their lives and who they want to help in their own way. And so,
thank you very
thank you so
much. Thank you.
much. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you coming on today.
Oh, thank you very much. It was it's not, it's great that we talk about the project. People can be with us or you talk about my book, but it was amazing for me to meet you because, there is no better value like the people with the heart I'm looking for.
Yeah,
Thank you. It was great honor for me and a great pleasure. Thank you very much.
appreciate it very much. And thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Hey, we all want to scale our business. Hey, I have the answer for you today to help you do that. If you're looking to scale from 5, 6, even 7 figures and beyond, book called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. I'm going to give it to you for free. All you have to do is type in growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and you can download the book for absolutely free. I hope the book helps you this year. Take your business to the next level. Again, go grab the book, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. I wish you the best and grow, scale, and win.
Thanks for listening to Pivot Perspectives with your host, Chris O'Byrne. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advice on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we will see you on the next episode.
There it is. Magnum. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God. It's beautiful.